We're on the start of another adventure today. I'm way out in the middle of nowhere. In fact, if my truck breaks down, I am going to burn it in place because it'll cost more for me to get it out of here than it's worth. I left the valley floor this morning. It was in the mid 60s, and right now it's about 40 because of the elevation. So it's going to be a chilly day, chilly night, and chilly tomorrow. All right, here's what we're going to do. If you look down over the valley, there's no houses down there. That's all wilderness. And we're going to head down in that general direction, and we're going to look for a treasure that one of my fans told me about that he had found back in the early 80s. Didn't realize what it was then, but he's not been able to find it since. So he knows a general location. So he gave me a little map, but I don't know. So we're going to go down and check that out. But we're also going to look for gold while we're out here, because this is gold country. And, you know, it's on an area that we can search as long as nothing's claimed. We can't get in the claims, but I haven't actually seen any. So when I was coming down the little hill right here, I could look over and I saw some rocks up on this hill that were obviously tailings from some type of mining operation long ago. So I jumped out of the truck, looked at it, and sure enough, there's a couple pits dug there. And we're going to go run the metal detector over it real quick to see if there's anything good in them. This is the first little pit I saw, but this isn't the interesting one. You can see a little bit of green on the rock down there, some broken glass. Not seeing any dig holes out here. That's a good sign, I guess. Might be another one on that little hill in front of us, or beside us. I certainly know, that's what I was talking about, those green rocks. So we know that there's lots of minerals here, and that might have been, ooh, check this out. All right, so again, lots of nice little green rocks there, which I guess is coppery. And see how they dug all this. I don't see any big dig holes anywhere, so either people have been here, didn't get any signals, or they haven't been here yet. Good luck with that, right? There is one shaft. It would take me a long time to get out of it if I fell in it, but you know what? Old Bessie there, she'd never get out of it. Or actually, I went back and got my pick. I don't know why I brought my shovel with me. I guess I'm just used to using it. If you look over yonder, you can see a little road. That's where we're headed later on, if we don't find a bunch of gold here. Anyway, let me show you what we're doing. I'll just go ahead and show you how I have this thing set up today. I'm just going to keep it in zero program, zero discrimination. Let's go ahead and just max out, sensitivity, wrong one. Max out the sensitivity. Always ground balance it. I'm going to turn the headphones off just so you can listen to it for a minute. Well, actually, no, because there's really not many signals. It's really quiet. I started digging a hole here, and this is why I knew I had to get the shovel, because it had a little bit of a squeaker. It's either a giant gold nugget or a piece of aluminum or something. It's a lot easier to use one of these pits like this. And I'll probably not do this every time, but... All right, I'll turn you off. Okay, that's what we're hearing. It's a piece of... probably a little piece of a drill bit. See how it's wedge shaped like that? So it's either a rock wedge or part of a drill bit. That's what we were hearing. We just dug another big old nail. It was down a good ways. I've been searching around for about 20 minutes and dug a couple more of those little wedge thingies. Got a nice squeaker here, dug down about 4 inches. And I saw it right here. So we have a pull tab. And a minute later, found a 22 casing. That's a rifle pistol cartridge. So I was kind of working my way around the hill a little bit, and I look down, I can see what appears to be a claim marker right there. That's actually the very first one I've seen today, and I've been traveling these roads back here for almost, well, an hour or two. So this is probably claimed. I'm not going to take a chance. So we'll move on, because this isn't where I want to be anyway. So you probably heard me mention claim jumping. And what that is when you go on a little plot of property that is claimed by another miner. Now, anyone can file a claim out in these mountains. All you gotta do is fill out the paperwork with the government, pay them a little bit of money, and you get to have a little spot of land that only you are allowed to dig minerals on. Now, anyone else can go on there, camp, hunt, fish, doesn't matter, but you can't gather minerals. The only problem is they've been doing that for like 100 years out here or more, and most people don't take down their claim stakes when the claim runs out, because it only lasts for X number of years. And they can renew them, but most people don't even take down the old ones. So you'll see claim stakes out here that have obviously been out here for 40 years and are probably, you know, no longer valid. But that one looked kind of new, so we'll respect it as being a valid claim. Although if we go to a certain stake, I think it's in one of the corners, northeast or something, don't quote me on that, they're supposed to have their identifying information there with a claim number and whatnot. That way you can see that it's a valid, still a valid claim or not. I only saw one stake, so I don't even know what corner we were in. We might not even been on their claim. That could have been further down the hill. But discretion is a better part of valor, and we are going to keep on moving because we're not to where I want to go just yet. This is an area out here where people like four-wheelers and stuff come out here a lot, so it's a little bit torn up, unfortunately, but that's the way it is. All right, so here's what we have to do. We're going to follow this road down through here, and it should go around, I believe, and follow that ridge down. And when we get down to the bottom, which isn't the bottom, we're going to turn to the right and go way down to a river down there. So hold on tight. The road actually isn't too bad through this stretch. I should have had the camera out earlier today, though. Of course, I was pretty much white knuckle driving. Hey, and for you guys overseas and for you guys that aren't from the West or haven't been out here much, let me explain something real quick. The government out here owns a lot of the land, and I'm in Arizona right now. And what that means is that the public has access to it. So looking out across here, and you can see it's all the way to the top of that mountain, down the other side, and all the way up through there. I suspect that pretty much all of that is government owned. So that means I can drive out there anywhere I want, while staying on the roads, these paths, staying on the paths, camp anywhere I want for 14 days. And then if I move 100 feet, another 14 days. It's kind of a silly rule, but you got to keep moving. But yeah, if this was private land, like you read about a lot of people wanting to privatize the government property, I would never be able to do this. Neither would you. So being owned by the government for me is a good thing. Now you'll see that there are fences, and you'll see cows. Those aren't government cows. Those are owned by private individuals that lease the land to run the cows on it, and they build the fences and stuff. You know, they might lease 20,000 acres for not much money, but the government lets them run the cows out here and keeps the brush down. For good or bad, I'm not really sure. But that's what happens. So when you hear people saying let's privatize western lands, what they mean is let me buy the western lands and keep everybody else like you and me out. So don't fall for it. I'm starting to get the feeling I should have probably scoped this trail out before we committed to it. It's a long way to back up if it chokes out or gets impassable. This is a wide vehicle. That's the problem. If it was narrow, it wouldn't be so bad. But it's getting kind of tiny. Definitely losing some paint from the sides. We can turn around down here at least, so that's a good sign. If we have to. Watch out. I do really just want to get up on top of that ridge right there. That's where we're going to stop for the night. If we can make it. If not, we'll just stop right up here. Hear that? That's Arizona's pinstriping. Oh, in the making. Oh yeah. Or if nothing else, we can camp right up in here. That's not too bad. There's some more. Yeah. There we go. Oh. Anybody want to buy a truck? Okay, what we're going to do, we can definitely camp right here. Nice flat spot. See, it's already a little campfire ring. We're not going to make a fire, but looks like somebody went up there not too long ago. We might try to go up there because I really would like to get up on top. That's where I want to start our search. We'll go up a little ways. Just a little ways. You know, you guys that do a lot of four-wheeling, I know this. Oh, there's an old mark. That's probably a really old cairn from a gold mine. You know, this really isn't much, but when you're in a stock big old truck like this, it can be problematic. Can't make that turn. All right, I think what we're going to do Let's put you guys away, and I'll try to make that turn. If I can't, we'll just camp in the bottom. That's close enough. Well, the turn gave me a little too much anxiety because, like I said, if we get stuck, we burn the truck. Let's just camp here. It's a nice little spot. It's really pretty much right where we need to go anyway, within a couple miles. Just around the corner. All right, I'm gonna get my gear together and we're gonna go for a little hike before it gets dark. What do you say? Okay, so we're all parked up in our little camp where we're gonna be tonight. We're gonna go for a hike and check out the first place that is possible that this treasure could be. That's the road we came up. You notice I backed into this spot. That's because I sleep in the back. So if someone were to drive up tonight to bother me and shine their headlights on my truck, I can get out of the back without being in their beams. So they can't really tell what I'm doing. And well, everyone's armed out here, so they're probably not gonna do that anyway. And I am too. Anyway, oh, I want to show you one more thing. I put that on special for this trip. On all the windows. Got two on the back. I should lock it, but I don't think anyone's gonna bother it. All right, let's get our stuff, and we're gonna take a little hike down this wash. Do loop-de-loop and come back and hopefully make it by dark. I do have my flashlight with me, so we'll be okay. I almost forgot. There's my new pinstriping job. I think the other side might actually be worse. It'll buff right out. Well, this is a beautiful little canyon. We're descending toward the river. But I'm seeing like modern trash, like Reese's wrapper back there. So we're not the first ones. It's 1980 to come down through here. Ow, wow, I just hit my head. All right, yeah, okay. If I see anything neat, I'll let you know. Could very well be Indian ruins down here too. Ancient Indians, like 1,000 years old or more. So we want to make sure we check all those type of rock bases for pictographs and petroglyphs. But we also need to watch our step. What do you got? There we go. We haven't gone too much further, but I saw this I wanted to show you. Piece of quartz, looks like it has wire gold in it. Which, like, I'm almost certain that isn't. But kind of had my heart pumping for a minute. We'll sit up on this rock. We're in the metal detector over it. See if we can hear anything. I've seen some quartz, not a lot. Well, looks like it could be a cave over there though, so we'll check that out. I don't know about you, but I think it's worth it just for this hike to drive in today. I couldn't stay on the trail because there's a pour off right there, or a drop off. It's about 8 feet or so, and I didn't want to have to deal with that right now. Besides, we can go the upper route and maybe check out these cave looking things. Maybe. Ow, briars. Well, I wouldn't call those briars, but they do stick you. Boy, I don't see any sign of Indian habitation, but you never know. They should be down here. Where I guarantee they're down where we're in this area. Jeez. Wow, that's cool, huh? Hi. Oh yeah. What I'm gonna do is nice little key. Is I'm gonna turn the camera off for a bit. We'll just keep exploring. When I see something cool, I'll get you back out. All of this is all cool, isn't it? I just don't want to run my battery completely dead. Of course, I got you back out before I even got down the hill from the little cave. Kind of squeezing past this tree, and I looked under here and see some big chert, big flakes of it. So there probably were Indians up in here. Yeah, some more over there. Indians up in here at one time, living and making tools and whatnot. And that's a refuge from them being up in there. So yeah, definitely something here. So I have high hopes that we'll find a good Indian ruin down the road here. Well, down the canyon. So kind of scooted around the upper part of it looking for stuff. But we have to get back down in the bottom and go down around that bend. I want to show you guys a neat little trick. If I don't know if you can see my phone, hopefully you can see it good enough, but I have Google Maps up and also Google Earth. I have 0 signal, and I haven't had a signal for an hour or more coming down the road. And although I have no signal whatsoever, it saves the map, if you know, in the general area that you're at, and the location, that little blue dot where I'm at, actually updates even though I have 0 signal. So we started right where my thumb is, up in that area, and have come around this bend to here. So we're about halfway to the river. This is the wash going down to the river. So we're almost there. At least I think we've done, well, I don't know if we've done the hard stuff or not. We're gonna go way down there yet. Okay, I'll be quiet now. So I got about halfway down the hill, and I looked back up and saw some more caves, so we came back up. And I want to show you something that's I think is kind of interesting. This is the cave, you know, the ledge. It's not they're not deep caves, but I couldn't tell from down below. But look at this. In this crack here, you can see that substance. And it's kind of wet and almost looks like tarry grossness. That's actually like a pack, I guess it's a pack rat. This is dung and feces. And it just packs into these cracks like that. I mean, that could be 1,000 years worth of pack rat doo-doo. But because I'm seeing it, it almost looks like snake rattles back there. So I don't know if you can see it or not. You probably can't, but way back in there, there's a couple things that look like giant rattlesnake rattles. But yeah, so you got to always be careful because this kind of stuff attracts rattlesnakes and diseases like hantavirus, which is actually not that uncommon out here. If you look over here, you can see that's packed up against a wall. So that means that there was a rock wall going along here at one point in history. You know, someone might have torn it out to see if there was any Indian artifacts behind it, or it might have just fallen out naturally. So that's what that is all about. That's your poo-poo lesson for the day. All right, I'm getting ready to head down because we got to get down pretty quick. I saw a little cave though, so I thought we'd check it out together. Before we do that, I have to look for rattlesnakes because I apparently do not see them very well. I just thought that looked like a cool little cave. Could be a little skeleton in there or something. Let's see. See any skeletons? I don't see any skeletons. Don't see any rattlesnakes. Don't see any artifacts. Now again, we're on government land, so we cannot take artifacts. Little bird feathers in there, kind of weird. You must have found a bird and brought it in there and ate it. Okay. And again, for a lot of you guys that metal detect, you cannot metal detect for artifacts on any federal government land. I'm metal detecting looking for gold today, and that's different. You can look for minerals on certain lands, like the BLM lands and whatnot. But if I was to have this out here looking for artifacts, I would be not creating, but committing a federal offense. So it doesn't matter if it's National Forest, Bureau of Land Management, or, you know, a battlefield, National Historical Park. No metal detecting on federal lands for anything that's over 50 years old, which includes a penny from a coin from 1970. You can't even pick that up if I found one. Found one, it's not even as old as me. And I'm having a terrible time getting down to the bar. I mean, you see it's really thick and steep. I'm kind of like going along the edge and dropping little by little. Of course, I'm metal detecting the whole way because it's just full of quartz. And there could be some gold in this quartz, so I'm going to keep looking for it. Another little cave here. I guess those are roots up in there. We got to scoot around here and hopefully we can drop down then. Oh, I tell you, it always looks so easy on a map. Whew. All right, I'm ready. Just watch out for snakes. I'm going to start by throwing some rocks in there, just in case there's rattlesnakes. Let them know we're coming. All right, let's go. She'll shake the coins from your pocket, take your gold chain and your locket. Mother Earth has no sympathy. She'll take the ring from your hand and bury it in the sand and keep it for eternity. Mother Earth, she's got